combining those two holidays.
I believe my faith has been restored.
We're in an increasingly divided world and sectarian world where people are extremely Christian or extremely Jewish or extremely Muslim or extremely something.
They're called Gentiles.
And there's been very little celebration about celebrating our differences and still finding it within our hearts to embrace others.
It's quite amazing that the holiday period has become a time of conflict rather than harmony. People don't even know what to say to each other. Will I offend my coworker if I say Merry Christmas? What if he's Jewish or she's an atheist? Should I say Happy Holidays and then I don't say Happy Hanukkah, Happy Hanukkah to them, and then they feel alienated? Oh, only Happy Holidays? Well, you guys get all the Christmas. Well, where do we Jews fit in? Presto! Solution! Chrismukkah! Everybody's happy!
I think there's a lot of interfaith families out there. I think there's a lot of families that, celebrate both holidays, and it kind of gave a name to that and made it okay. And it was Seth's invention as a way to get many more presents.
Other highlights include 8 days of presents, followed by 1 day of many presents.
There isn't any other example of the holiday season where you have these almost competing interests, like Hanukkah and Christmas coming almost at the exact same time, with such similar themes. Giving presents, time for kids. It has that consumer aspect. People are out shopping, and it's an attempt to really solve what appears to be a rivalry.
So you've got the best of both worlds, really. You've got the joyful aspect without the religious connotations of Christmas, and Hanukkah with a little more religious connotation, but the benefits, certainly in terms of the booty.
Dude, I knew this would happen. It's like it starts out as this really cool cult holiday, flying beneath the cultural radar, and then all of a sudden it crosses over, and then there's too much pressure. I mean, truthfully, can it really be the next Thanksgiving? Can it top Halloween?
Yeah, it was wild. It was like it was on the air, and then the next week people were talking about it.
This will be the best Chrismukkah ever.
People have said to us, like, oh, you should have trademarked that or whatever. But, we didn't invent it. It was already out there. And that we were able to kind of codify it and present it to, in pop culture, I think is great.
By the time we got to season 2, there was like a whole competing companies putting out Chrismukkah cards, and it became like a whole deal.
I remember coming to school the next day. It was Friday, and everyone was talking about the last night's episode, and half the people had made little yarmulke clauses themselves.
Holy Moses, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it kind of took on a life of its own.
It's an interesting example of the media's ability to reflect and affect reality.
They're going to be asking me to create new holidays. Seth, what about Eastover or Kwanzaa Shana?
So it's reflecting that aspect, but it's also affecting it in the sense that a couple of books have now been written about Chrismukkah. There are websites about it.
Oh, God. What if it's starting?
What if what's starting?
The Chrismukkah backlash. What if it's getting too big and commercial?
Well, it's funny. I was standing in a store the other day, and I looked over, and there was Chrismukkah on a poster that was just in the mainstream now. And I thought, oh my goodness, the show has really infiltrated pop culture. So that was a little strange.
I love the Chrismukkah episodes. It's sort of our, staple episode, and it's become a tradition.
But also the way they integrate it into the narratives themselves, so that Chrismukkah kind of is a guiding principle within the episodes. And very often they come to very profound kind of resolutions to major moral crises that the characters are going through.
But I wouldn't be here at all if it weren't for a mitzvah the Cohens performed for me. See, mitzvah means any act of human kindness, and, well, that's really what we're here to celebrate.
As the philosopher Emmanuel Levinas says, a radical responsibility for the other. There's, supporting the underdog and doing what you can for those who are less privileged. And that's expressed in various ways in the show.
Okay, wait a second. I thought you said she was marrying Seth. That's Che, or Chester, I guess, in alt reality.
I think this year we did our best Chrismukkah episode yet.
I think this year's episode was fun to do. Everyone seems to be very happy with it, so.
What's up, Mrs. Mimi?
That's me. This year was fun because it was the dream sequence. It's always fun playing something very, big and broad and real character.
We're basically doing It's a Wonderful Life, What If Ryan Atwood Never Came to the OC.
Where's your supervisor?
Kirsten, what are you talking about?
Excuse me, do I know you?
Could we do our own version that had all the great, warm, fuzzy stuff that you love about that, but also had enough humor and quirkiness that you weren't going to feel like you've seen something that you've already seen?
We have been sent here to fix something. It's the only explanation. Someone or someones we know are in trouble.
But having so many funny things with, you know, Summer being a bimbo, and Che is in this world, and Kirsten's married to Jimmy, and Julie's married to Sandy, and it just was really, really fun.
You know, I think Sandy and Julie would make an interesting couple.
Shut up!
We didn't have much chance to explore that relationship.
Honestly, I don't know how you were ever married to that ice cream.
Well, we were different people back then. I'll be home in a couple hours. But it was an interesting kind of twist.
It was awesome. It totally worked. It was weird and it was different for us, but it was special.
As far-fetched as the alternate reality notion was, it served to illuminate aspects of each of the characters, which was truthful.
I'm really proud of that episode.
None of you know me, but the truth is that each of you saved my life just by being who you are. And right now, none of you are who you are.
Exactly hit the right tonal note.
You know, for our last Chrismukkah, it was a really great way to do it.
My color-coded holiday alert system is detecting you two, your taupe. Come on, that's a very dangerously low level of holiday cheer.
Chrismukkah is, it's great that our show has put a name to something and that now people feel it's pop culture. This show's is about pop culture, and I think people will remember it.
Somebody just went from taupe to putty.
I was raised Jewish, but I like Christmas just because it's got better music and movies, you know, and it's as simple as that.
It's great that Christians affirm their Christianity. It's very important that Jews affirm their Jewishness and their Judaism. But amidst those differences, there are times to come together as one. And I think the Chrismukkah was sort of an effort, an attempt to find commonalities so that we could have joint celebrations as well.
Oh, I got you something.
No. We had an agreement.
Yeah, but this is different. This is a requirement. I know it's a bit minty, but, you know, we all have one, so we just thought.
I am a fan of the sort of melding of all of that.
It's an expression of lived religion rather than traditional religion. How religion can be recreated and reclaimed in new and more meaningful ways.
I guess it's about finding commonalities and finding common themes to allow us to celebrate jointly so that neither group feels A, compromised, or B, excluded.
Our spirits as people should be, you know, big enough, and our courage should be such that we can embrace difference.